The Utah Mammoth are kind of in a weird spot right now. They just had back-to-back overtime losses on their recent road trip against Anaheim and San Jose. So they pick up 2 points, but still kind of leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, especially considering the Anaheim game was just 4 seconds away from 2 points and an outright victory in regulation. So what's going on now? How do we feel about it? And is this an inflection point moment for the Utah Mammoth? We're going to talk about all that and more on this episode of SLC Puck. So stay tuned. Cue the music. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to SLC Puck. I'm your host, Austin Facer, and I'm also Kevin's uncle. And Kevin's in bed right now. He's a couple flights of stairs above my head, and I need to be respectful of that. He's a growing toddler, so when he's asleep and I'm doing the podcast, I need to be a little bit more quiet when I do my signature intro. But my enthusiasm is still at an all-time high about hockey in Utah, and I think it has a lot to do with an experience I had tonight. That's why I'm recording the episode a little bit later this evening. It's November 19th. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having us in your home, in your car, wherever you find SLC Puck. We love being your go-to hockey source for all things hockey in the state of Utah. Here's what else I'll add about SLC Puck. We've kind of hit a groove lately. I'm very excited about some of the new product offerings we have at SLC Puck. Obviously, we have a lot of the same great stuff we've had for quite a while, right? We have Big Tusk Energy. That's the lifestyle brand that powers the show. Look at this, the hat I'm wearing. That's a Big Tusk Energy hat. I had someone compliment my hat today, which was a lot of fun. They're like, "Where'd you get that hat?" And I'm like, "I make this hat." And they're like, "Get out of here. You don't make this hat." And they're right. I don't make it, but I conceptualize this and I sell it because I have the trademark and the URL and the rights to do so as far as the United States Trademark Office is concerned. So there you go. Have at it. Hey, go to bigtuskenergy.com if you want to get yours. But we've added some other great product offerings to the SLC Puck portfolio. We do a new thing called SLC Picks, and that's where every game before the Utah Mammoth hit the ice. Oh, see, the crowd goes wild when I mention SLC Picks. How do I turn this off? They're going so nuts. They're clapping out of nowhere. It's not because I hit the button with my big fat hands that I shouldn't have. It's because people are so excited about SLC Picks. SLC Picks, let me fill you in. Before every Utah Mammoth game, I'm going to post a little bloggy blog on slcpuck.com. And by the way, subscribe to this for free. This puts this right in your inbox as soon as I hit publish, and you can see the edge on the betting lines before the sharps come in and wreck the lines and all that. I make picks before every game. I've been pretty dang good. I started to do Kalshi a little bit, which is a prediction market, which somehow makes some iteration of sports betting legal in every state, which a great legal workaround. Some wunderkinds over there with some Juris Doctor degrees came up with that one, so that's pretty cool. I also had to do some prize pick picks as well. Obviously, daily fantasy sports legal in the state of Utah. I've been so freaking close to cashing on a couple of these lately, like so much so that I don't feel bad about the picks I made. I think the players who have prevented this from happening should apologize to me, and it's really just one player. It's Clayton Keller, who I've put a leg on in each of the last 2 games. He came up short, did not get a point in the game against San Jose. I had him getting a point. I think that was a good pick. I stand by it. He's hot against San Jose. That was a very educated pick. I make educated picks, guys, so that's one reason to go to SLC Picks. I'm the only hockey podcast in the state trying to make you guys money, for heaven's sake. I'm also one of the only hockey podcasts in the state that cares about your legal representation. We want to thank our good friends at Craig Swap for sponsoring the show. Our good friends at KSL.com made this partnership happen. I mean, look at these guys. I feel so much better when I'm driving down the freeway, worried about all the things that could go wrong in my life. The random freak occurrences in life. It makes me tremble just to think about what could happen. But when I see the Craig Swap billboard on the side of the road, I see Craig Swap and who I'm guessing is his son standing there with the finger up, indicating one call. That's all. I feel better. So make sure you keep these guys in mind. Craig Swap wins. They're the official injury law partner of the Utah Mammoth, and they're also the official injury law partner of SLC Puck. So super happy, super grateful for their support. And don't forget, Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers is also a terrific sponsor of ours. They're providing a $250 gift card for every episode of SLC Puck. So make sure you scan the QR code when it pops up here on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah. The reason why I'm so excited, the reason why the episode is late tonight, because I got a fantastic opportunity to do something that is probably going to make a few of you jealous. I'm sorry. I am one of the most absurdly fortunate people in the entire world. I try not to take that for granted. I'm sure I do sometimes. But I had just the coolest thing. You know, as some of you may know, I do some coaching, some help with the Mammoth Youth Program. I'm on the ice with them. I do some street hockey stuff every once in a while. It's something I really enjoy. And I've come to realize that a lot of usually at least one kid in every group is a listener of this show. So to whoever you are in this group, hey, thanks for tuning in. I had no idea that I was making children's television here. I mean, it's a little bizarre. I think that was not my intention when I started the show, but I'm happy to have your attention and hopefully your consumer data when you come of age, and you'll be a supporter of the show for years to come. But I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Youth hockey was such a huge part of my life. But we had a meeting, those of us who do the youth coaching for the Utah Mammoth, at the new practice facility in Sandy, which is going to be open to the public very soon. I know the date. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the date, but it's coming up soon. And the meeting was so cool because, we kind of went over what that's going to look like when it happens. There is a full slate of youth programming, adult programming, men, women, boys, girls. Everybody's going to have a place to call home here at this facility. And it was really exciting to hear about it. I'll be around. I'm sure you'll see me at the facility from time to time, helping with different things. It's an incredible space. It's super cool. It's super fun. And after our meeting, we did something really cool. We got to go out on the ice where the Mammoth practice and shoot some pucks around. Those of you who are on my men's league team know that I'm a horrible shooter of the puck. I lead the team in shots without a goal, and shots that don't hit the net. So I'm just a fantastic sniper with the puck, and I got to show that off for my fellow coaches there as well. Aiming the puck is just dumb to me, if you ask me. I just shoot the dang thing as hard as you can, as high as you can. If you hit the crossbar, it's going to sound really cool. That's kind of always been my mindset when it comes to shooting. It's fun, and sometimes you can hit the twine, right? But when you hit the glass really hard, you get a lot of respect. That kind of is just as cool as an actual goal. That's kind of the justification I made in my mind. I'll post a whole video for you guys of all my terrific sharpshooting that I did at the practice facility. But gosh, it was so cool just to be out there in this new rink and kind of just have the feeling that I'm yeah, people are going to be a little envious of me. That kind of made it a little bit sweeter. Sorry. I know that's crappy of me to say, but it just kind of added to the zhuzh a little bit. But I said this when they announced that they were going to turn Southtown into this practice facility and kind of this community hockey hub. I said, this is the most important building in hockey for the state. And this building is going to mean so much to so many people. And when you think about the programming that's going to be there, they're going to have a youth league there. They're going to do all this incredible fun stuff. It's going to be a lot of people's favorite place for sure. And I just I'm out there tonight and I'm skating around and I'm shooting the puck against the glass behind the net as hard as I can. And I felt like the 9-year-old boy who fell in love with hockey after watching the Mighty Ducks on repeat on VHS. I'm 33 now, and I just felt like that 9-year-old kid again. I don't feel any different. And it was such a good feeling because I don't know. I think a lot of people who love the game and who have played hockey their whole lives. I took a huge break from hockey, and I don't think that was very good for me. I probably would have been better off continuing to play. I would have been more in shape, and I would have had something, to keep me active and to keep me connected to the hockey community a little bit better. I regret that. I'm super happy to be back in it, but again, it's just hard not to feel like emotional. And I'm like, this place means so much to so many people. And I just I took a second to just kind of soak it in. I'm like, this is unreal. And I just I felt so lucky to be there. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. It is it's just tremendous. It's just fun. It feels big and it feels like it's ours. And it is. It's both. It's big and it's ours. And it's going to be just a place where a lot of great memories are made. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. So, yeah, it was cool. So again, apologies. I know I've been sabotaging and destroying your guys' nervous systems the last little bit with the slightly inconsistent recording schedule. I'm still doing 2 podcasts a week for crying out loud, guys. But it was fun. And I just want to add one more note. Everybody who was out there skating with us, knew that this happened because I reminded them, every 30 seconds when we were on our way out the door. I did score 2 goals in our little shinny that we were playing. Just posts, no big deal. One from range, one up close. I did snipe one. I did score a goal. I did happen to hit the net, the post. So 2 goals. That's all I'm going to say. 2 goals. Pretty good. Not bad. If had we been allowed to play 15 seconds longer, I'm positive I would have gotten the hat trick. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. But again, I can't wait for you guys to see this. I know we need to, as Mammoth fans, we are at an impasse right now. It's an inflection point for the team. I think that's a good way to put it. I don't know if I should be one way or the other. We're at the tipping point right now. Just had a pretty frustrating road trip to California. The moms had a fantastic time. They got Mickey Mouse ears. They went to a winery. They went to Disneyland. They had a blast, right? They had a lot of fun. Those of us who were at a bar named Sue on Monday had a great time. I so appreciate everybody who came. Those of you who made food donations, that was super cool. We gave a lot of great stuff away as well. We're going to do more watch parties, at least one more a month, the rest of the season. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're following me on SLC Puck. But again, we had all the fun at the watch party, and then it wound down to the end of the game. Hey, great, Utah wins. It's the watch party effect. It's what happened. I should check what our record is on watch parties, by the way.
Hurt in a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall. Just call Quick Swap. One call, that's all.
After a car wreck, dealing with big insurance companies on your own can hurt your case. One call, that's all means we take care of everything. From dealing with insurance companies to helping you find doctors and repair shops, we're here to guide you from start to finish. Call Craig Swap & Associates today at 801-444-4444.
One call, that's all.
Probably not. I don't think it's good, to be honest. But, so I guess the curse kicked in right at the end. Anaheim scored with 4 seconds to go to tie the game up at 2-2, and then scored in overtime. There was a little bit of a upsetting image that came out of the overtime defeat for the Mammoth. They save a point, right? Great. Better than nothing, I suppose. That's kind of the takeaway. But this little cartoon that I made here of a guy with a broccoli head, that's supposed to be Karel Vejmelka, by the way. I should have added a beard to that, with a couple of ducks, cackling and laughing at him. That wasn't a far cry from what reality resembled. This is it right here. Karel Vejmelka, way out of position, comes out of his crease by about 8 feet to cut down the shooting angle here on Beckett Seneke. He slides an easy pass over to Olin Zellweger, and he's got an empty net, basically an empty net. And I wrote about this on slcpuck.com. You should subscribe. There's good stuff on there. And I said, Karel Vejmelka is a good athlete, but he doesn't have go-go gadget arms. There was no reaching back for that one. And right there, you can see Dylan Guenther, Mikhail Sergachev, nothing they can do. Just watch. They're just going to watch that point slip away. And so it was a really frustrating moment. I think perhaps including the loss to San Jose last year when they blew a 4-1 lead, this might be one of the most disappointing games in franchise history. Dang it. I mean, again, we know this. We're expecting this to be a tight race for the playoffs. Every point's going to count, so it feels especially painful that they were 4 seconds away from securing both points. They saved the one, but hopefully hopefully losing that 1 point doesn't come back to bite them in the butt. The next game, another loss in overtime, so they saved the point. But that game was also kind of weird. It was just like a story of 1 point games in the standings that were both kind of weird and kind of left a bad taste in our mouth. That game started with Macklin Celebrini scoring 2 goals very quickly on Vitek Vanacek, who did not look very good, at least not to start the game. Utah battles back to tie it. There was a moment when it looked like Utah was going to take the lead, but a goal was called back due to goaltender interference. Little bit of like a suspect call there. It looked like Dylan Guenther was pushed into I almost said Evgeny Navagkov, whoever San Jose's goalie, Ascarov's goalie for San Jose. They wave it off. Game remains tied. They go to overtime. Macklin Celebrini goes top shelf on Vitek Vanacek for the hat trick. Storybook, ending of a night for Celebrini. This is the same night that Connor Bedard, his, contemporary, 1 and 2, like the young guns of the NHL, both get hat tricks in the same night. Narratively, it made all the sense in the world. The script writers, really stuck us with that one. So I said leading into this road trip, I'm like, listen, I think Utah needs to get a win in one of these 2 games. They need 2 points, 2 out of a possible 4. They got them, but they got them in ways that are like, ugh, it didn't feel great. Getting just 1 win outright would have felt better. I think we all kind of feel that way as Mammoth fans. And again, it feels like we're at this inflection point right now. We're going to continue to have like really critical games here in November. I mean, just this next little stretch is particularly, upsetting or particularly daunting, I guess. Vegas Golden Knights on Thursday. That's going to be a big day for me as well. That's tomorrow. Not only am I going to the game, but I'm also going to the midnight showing of Wicked afterwards. So I hope I'm in a good mood for that. I know you guys are probably like, Austin, you're super macho. Don't tell me you're into musicals. I love Wicked. I absolutely love Wicked. I've been a fan of Wicked for years. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park with the first one. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I took a little date to watch the movie last year. And again, I love the musical. My favorite song from that musical is Defying Gravity. And if you're a Wicked fan, and I know a lot of you guys out there are, then that was kind of the showstopper at the end of the first film. Me and my date were sitting there. We watched the entirety of the movie. And then I'm through with playing by the rules of song. See that? I can't sing. I'm not Cynthia Erivo. I'm sorry. She's better than me. Of someone else's game. That was a little bit better. I can't hit the falsetto. But anyway, the song starts, and my date, she's not into this. This is not her idea of fun. I'm having a blast, and it's all coming to a head. I'm getting to the big showstopper at the end, and I'm like wide-eyed, just mesmerized, watching waiting, the moment that I've been waiting 2.5 hours for is finally happening. And I am like, my jaw is on the floor. I'm just stunned out of my mind. I'm like, I can't believe they pulled this off. And she leans over and has the gall to start talking to me in my ear while I'm trying to enjoy the song. I very calmly go, please be quiet. I was as considerate as I possibly could be, but in the circumstance, it was like it was really difficult to not absolutely lose it. Like, I really need you to be quiet right now. Like this, I've been waiting for this all night. She was pretty pissed about that. Anyway, that's my tangent on Wicked. We were talking about hockey, right? Yeah, they're playing the Vegas Golden Knights on Thursday. That's a tough one. Vegas, the favorites in their own town to win the Stanley Cup, Vegas betting odds, all that good stuff, right? Those were the preseason odds. Where are we at right now in the standings? Let's take a look here. So Utah on a little bit of a slide, right? Over their last 10, 2-5-3 records. So they've only gotten a possible, let's do some quick math here, 7 out of the last possible 20 points. What's up, guys? I've got a really exciting announcement. I'm going to interrupt the show for just a minute to let you know that we are back in biz. We are giving away a $250 gift card for every episode of SLC Puck, thanks to our good friends at Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers and Jonathan's Jewelry. These guys are awesome. They've got some of the best stuff in the world. Some of the most incredible antique jewelry, engagement rings, stuff to get you out of trouble too, stuff to just show someone that you care and you love them. You can find it all at Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers or Jonathan's Jewelry. They're upgrading their spots. They're upgrading their inventory all the time. So much great stuff. They hit up estate sales. They find all the incredible jewelry that person that you love is really going to enjoy. So make sure you get over there, enter this giveaway. It's the easiest giveaway you'll ever enter. Just scan this QR code right over here. You'll be prompted to send a text message. Hit send on that sucker, and you're entered, and we'll let you know if you're a winner of a $250 gift card. And even if you don't win, you can still benefit from this incredible partnership. Just head into either one of those locations. Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers is at Trolley Square. Jonathan's Jewelry, that's up in Cottonwood Heights. And just mention SLC Puck, and they'll knock $100 off your purchase, just like that. So big thanks to Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers and Jonathan's Jewelry for their support of SLC Puck and Utah hockey fans like you. Let's get back to the show. Not very good. I saw someone somewhere say that Utah's only beaten teams named the Buffalo Sabres over the last month. And it was like, oh gosh, that can't be good. They're on a 3-game slide, 10-7-3 record, 23 points, just barely over the edge when it comes to goal differential, 62 goals for, 61 goals against. That's got to be one of the other stories. Like, the offense is a little anemic. The goaltending hasn't been great. Their defense has kept the games close, right? They're allowing the fewest shots on net out of any team in the NHL. The penalty kill's been unreal. You can thank a guy named John Madden for that. The players certainly are. I wrote another article about this. I've just been on a writing kick lately. I know some of you guys don't like to read and perhaps don't know how to read, which, hey, reading's going out of style anyway. I get it. But I encourage you guys to check those out. I made some pretty clever jokes. I think maybe we'll go back and read those in just a second. But as it stands now, Utah's slide is starting to show a little bit. Colorado continues to be a wagon. They're unbeaten in regulation their last 10 games. They have a 6-game winning streak. They're at the tippy top of all of the NHL. They're the most points in the entire National Hockey League with 31. So they lead the Central Division. Dallas is in second with 27 points. Winnipeg behind them. So this is the same way the playoffs shook out last year as far as seeding went. The top 3 in the Central Division, except Winnipeg had the first seed, I should say. But it was these 3 teams. Winnipeg with 24. They're tied with Chicago, who is having a surprising year. It certainly helped that Connor Bedard seems to have arrived as a superstar. Minnesota has been playing some catch-up lately. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 7-2-1 over their last 10. Started a little cold, but again, they're starting to find themselves. So for Utah, the sense of urgency is almost there. Like, again, as I said at the start of the show, this is going to start to be the tipping point, the inflection where drastic measures might need to be considered. What those are, I think we can all kind of, put the pieces together. Yeah. I mean, there's no one's pushing Utah from behind. They need to stay in this race right here. As we said ad nauseum, as I'm sure all you hockey folks know, all you hockey folks and musical lovers probably know, top 3 teams in each division, go to the playoffs, and then 2 wild card spots after that. So Utah needs to stay up. They're not going to catch Colorado. That's certainly not going to happen this season. They probably can't hang with Dallas. They need to remain close to that 3rd spot. They are right now. They're only a point out, but the teams in front of them, 2 of the teams in front of them, have a game in hand. This doesn't matter too much right now, but it's going to start to become significant as the months go on. And as we said, this is like a critical moment right now in November, right? They play Vegas on Thursday. Yes, I'm going to Wicked afterwards. The New York Rangers on Saturday. Vegas once more on Monday. Montreal on Wednesday. And then Dallas on the 28th. St. Louis on the 29th. So critical stretch. If they're still in the race, in the hunt for that wild card or that 3rd position in the Central Division, we can breathe a little bit easier, a little bit. It's still going to really affect our central nervous systems and our heart rates. And what else could it affect? Just our general demeanor and temperament and the way we treat others. And I hope we continue to treat others with kindness, regardless of what happens to a hockey team. But you'd be surprised. Have you seen the way some people behave on social media? You guys are nuts, by the way. I love you. Buy some merch. You guys are nuts. In December, the start of December is a tough road trip. I mean, there are some tough games there. They start with San Jose on the 1st, Anaheim on the 3rd, and then a back-to-back in BC and in Alberta where they play, and Alberta, they play Vancouver and Calgary back-to-back. We know back-to-backs have been difficult for them, although those teams are occupying the cellar positions in the Pacific Division. So is it time for drastic measures? It kind of feels like that feeling we had last year around the trade deadline and Bill Armstrong said that himself back, at that time. He's like, we're in the middle. Like, we're not buyers or sellers right now. We're in the middle. We're just going to stay where we are. It kind of feels like there's a similar mindset right now. They're not buying the season away. They're not selling it away either. I don't know. Some things need to get better. The power play has to find itself again. The even strength numbers have been very inadequate lately as well. I think we've seen so many changes in the lineups. We've seen guys go up and down, playing with different groups. They're trying to get things to gel. Some guys are hot one night, some guys are not. JJ Peterka scoring 2 goals in one game against San Jose certainly helps, but we have to ask, where's Clayton Keller? I haven't cashed my bets lately, Clayton Keller. What's going on? Cooley's been a little inconsistent as well. I have very much appreciated Dylan Guenther's effort as of late. He's been firing the puck like a madman, as he should. But and then just other greasy goals just aren't there. I don't remember the last time Barrett Hayton scored a goal. I don't remember the last time Jack McBain scored a goal. It's been quite a while. They need contributions from all these guys. I'm pretty sure Brandon Tanev doesn't have a goal this year. And Kevin Stenlund might only have 1 or 2. Come on, guys. It's it's getting to be time to kick it into gear. We got to stay up in it. Nobody's more aware of this than the team, I'm sure. I'm sure they're not sitting at home going, what are you talking about, Austin? Because for one, I don't think they listen to the show. And for two, they're aware. I'm sure there's some frustration. You see it in the post-game interviews. I'm watching Andre Tourney's his complexion, the way his facial expressions. He's a guy who looks a little flustered right now. And, I think it's understandable, right? I mean, there are cries for his head to roll on social media. That would bother me. Don't you dare start a fire Austin movement. First of all, you can't. Hey, everybody, let's call Austin's boss. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Can't fire me. I'm my own boss. But anyway, that's not the reality that Bear lives in. It's a really interesting time for the Utah Mammoth right now. And again, this team is predicated on being patient. They don't want to, mortgage their future for a short-term return. You know, they're weighing that in conjunction with things like Nick Schmaltz's contract extension. Like, do they sign a contract extension with Nick Schmaltz? I don't know. There's all these like kind of little questions right now where the answers just aren't clear. And I'm sorry, my job as the voice of hockey in Utah is to give you the answers. I don't have them. And they're looking for them. I guarantee you that, but I don't have them. And I'm interested to see how things go against Vegas. Hopefully Utah can finish a game. I'm just looking at my notes right here. The last 4 games, they haven't scored more than 2 goals. They've had contributions from Peterka, Gunther, Schmaltz, but everybody else is a little invisible. Hopefully Sean Durzi will be back soon. Again, the penalty kill is keeping them afloat. I wrote about this on slcpuck.com. It's one of the most clever articles ever been written. Madden 25, Utah's PK is the only thing keeping Utah in the game. If you don't know, why this is so clever, it's because the guy who's masterminding their penalty kill just happens to be named John Madden. And no, it's not the guy who made turducken a thing, not the guy who's famous for driving all over the country in a bus because he's afraid to fly. It's another guy, a guy who's famous for scoring 6 shorthanded goals as a rookie, a guy who's famous for winning the Selke Award as the best defensive forward in hockey, a guy who is probably the best penalty killer in hockey during his playing days, who just happens to also have the same name, John Madden. So there's a write-up there I did on that. I think it's pretty informative, so hope you guys check this out. But, again, it's an interesting moment. Vegas is still who they are. They're a deep team. They're around average right now, but they're a team with superstars. Jack Eichel comes to mind. Utah needs. I think the good news is they can get better contributions from Vejmelka. We're not seeing Karel Vejmelka play at his best right now, and I think that actually could be a positive. Because if this was the best Karel Vejmelka could do, I think then people would go, oh my gosh, like now we have a problem. It's like we know what you're capable of. You just have to see it. It feels like they could be in a good place to snap this streak against Vegas, and I think that would be something that would be really encouraging for a lot of Utah Mammoth fans. Utah's been pretty good at the Delta Center with a 5-1-1 record. Vegas, I believe, is going to be they're on a little bit of a road trip right now, from what I saw. So they're placed as the favorites according to Vegas, but. Again, I think this is a game that could be critical for Utah and would be very encouraging to see them pick up the dub. They play the Rangers on Saturday. Rangers have been a wagon on the road, right? They're really good on the road. They're 9-1-1, but their offense is a little slow. They haven't cracked 20 shots on goal. In their most recent game, they didn't hit over 20 shots a goal. And again, this is a strength for Utah, not allowing the shots on goal. JT Miller, their captain, has looked pretty disinterested at times. So, hey, I think there's points to be earned here in their next 2 games. So we'll just have to see how things go. Again, I wish we had more answers for you. I think we all want more answers. But here's what I can tell you with great certainty. Hockey's going to be incredible here in Utah. And it's because of like the building, and it's because of the investment that the franchise is making. And I think like ultimately that's like the thing people are going to remember. Nobody's going to remember this game against the Rangers on Saturday unless something crazy happens. Like maybe they need someone who can shoot the puck wildly over the net on the ice for some reason, in which case I'd be happy to suit up and help the team out. But people are going to remember like what's happening in that facility with the Mammoth branding, with the logo on the ice. I won't forget the night I had tonight. It was so fun to be out there. I have like all this video of me like playing very poor hockey, just goofing around. I'm excited to show it to you guys. So that's like what I'm kind of still like in my brain a little bit. Let's just see what happens to the big boys this week. It's gonna be an interesting one. So again, thank you guys for tuning in to SLC Puck. Please support our good friends at Payne Anthony Creative Jewelers, Craig Swap. Buy some merch, BigTuskEnergy.com, SLCPuck.shop, same place. Follow me on social media at SLC Puck. If you go to Wicked, let me know what you think. I'm excited to talk about that on Sunday. and whatever ends up happening in these hockey games. That's the show, right? Can you imagine if we made a heel turn to just becoming a wicked show? Might be in the cards. We'll talk to you later, guys.